Hey, welcome to Back in the Dave. I'm your host, David Knight, and that was Take It Higher. That was my third release. Can you believe it? Like, my third song is out. That went out last month on February 3rd, and it's doing pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty excited about it. I think people really embraced the song a little bit more than what I thought they would have. Meaning, like, when I did this song, like when I recorded the song, I recorded it with the idea in mind that I wanted this song to inspire people to take their life higher, to do their thing, to whatever it is that you do, whether it's jumping off of buildings or whether it's swimming across the Atlantic Ocean, whatever it may be for you, that was the idea in mind. You just take your life higher. And right now, if you happen to be in slow-mo mode or more of a sedentary life, whatever it may be, just begin to move forward. Let the song inspire you to move forward, to take your life higher on other levels, whatever it is. If that's just a 20-minute slow-paced walk every day, or if it's just 10 minutes of lifting a 5-pound weight to move your body, do all that. Take your life higher. So I was kind of surprised because the music video also was pretty well accepted, which was a really even bigger shock for me. Why? Because I played around with so many different ideas about the video, right? I was like, how do I want to do this? I'm really not sure how I want to make this happen, but let me just think. And then it just hit me, well, why not just do a video on ways in which you take your life higher? And I was like, oh, okay, but that's kind of an ego thing, like showing myself, taking my life higher and doing all this stuff for me, but I had no other ideas. So I kind of went with it. Well, no, it really made sense for the song, in my opinion. It really made sense. It's like, if you're going to tell somebody in the song to take your life higher, then you may want to give examples of that. And that was the idea behind the video, just to give examples of some of the things that I do really on a daily and weekly basis, which I use to take my life high, to take my life to hopefully better levels and, to hopefully live a more fulfilling life, or at least a healthier life, or whatever that means for me, right? And I was surprised because so many people were like, this video really inspired me. This video and the song really helped to motivate me do a little bit of, a little bit more than what I've been doing. And that's really all I wanted from the song, That's really all I was hoping from the song and for the video, is that as it filters out more and more through the digital domain of the internet, is that hopefully more and more people will see the song, and it will inspire them to just move their life another notch. So for all those folks who have been inspired by Take It Higher, I am so happy, so grateful, and I'm happy that it's working for you on the level that I was hoping that it would. The people who have supported the song either by Spotify or downloading it, whatever you're doing, thank you so much. I appreciate it as well. I will be burning out some CDs on it for those folks who have been asking me about CDs. I will be doing that. Right now, I'm just in the beginning of getting the second release out for this year, which is a song called Gentle. And you'll be hearing more about Gentle in the coming weeks. The goal is to get that out, preferably next month in April, but if I miss next month, then I'm going to definitely get it out in May. So look for Gentle. That's going to be something kind of new, cool, and unique for me, for what I do. And I'm not going to tell any more about it. I'm just going to just put it out there. All right. So thank you so much for supporting and embracing Take It Higher, and look forward to Gentle either in April or May. I'm hoping April, because I want to start getting stuff out a little bit faster once I get them done. So I'm hoping that. All right. But thinking about future songs, I have 3 songs that I want to record for next year, for 2025. One is called Lady of the Sun. The other one is called Share a Little Love. The other one is called Move On. Now, here's the thing. Get a little bit intricate here, because depending on how things go this year with timing and getting all the rest of these 3 songs out and all that kind of stuff before the end of the year, I'm not sure how much time I'm going to have to get all 3 songs done this year to get them out the first quarter of next year. So, long story short, I may only be able to get 2 of the songs out. right? So one that I definitely want to get out is Lady of the Sun. I'm still writing it, but I think Lady of the Sun is going to be a real awesome song when it's done and recorded and all done with that. So that song I definitely want to get out next year. It's like an up-tempo, dance, moderate kind of song, but it's really kind of cool, really funky also. And then I have 2 ballads, okay? Show the Love and Move On. Now, depending on how things go, I'm not sure which one of those ballads I can get done. So what I want to do, I'm going to play a little bit of piano for you. All right, I'm going to play the melody of both of those songs. Of Move On and Show the Love. I'm going to play the melodies of those songs. And either on the show notes page on my website, Dave Knight Composed, BedRock, which is the name of this episode, on the show notes page, or on YouTube comments, or Facebook, Instagram, wherever your flavor is. Email me, those who have my cell number, text me, whatever it may be. Vote for the song. Let me know out of these 2 melodies which one resonates the strongest with you, that you would like to maybe see me do next year, record and put out for next year. That's in the event that I'm not able to get all 3 done this year. If I get all 3 done, then this was just a really good fun exercise. But if I don't get all 3 done, at least we get one of the ballads out. I really want to start putting out my ballads, because really most of my life I've been called a balladeer, even though I'm still loving my funk, right? So I want to start getting some of the ballads out, and those 2 songs. Share a Little Love is the song where you meet the girl and fall in love. Move On is a song where you fall out of love with the girl and you're moving with your lives, right? So I'm kind of where I'm at right now. Honestly, I'm kind of leaning a little bit more towards Share a Little Love, because I'm in that mode. I'm not really in the mode of my girlfriend, my wife, and the breakup. I'm not really in that mode, which is what Move On is all about. But Move On is such a beautiful song, and it's not about me where I am. It's about where all the people are. So I would love to do both songs, because it would resonate to people who are meeting people and falling in love, and those folks who are also maybe falling out of love and breaking up with Move On. So I'd love to do them both. I'm rambling now, so let me stop rambling. Let me go to the songs. Let me pull out my keyboard. I'll pull my chair over here. And those of you who are on video, who are watching this on YouTube, will see all of this going on, maybe, unless I cut it out. Knowing me, I'm going to edit it. But, so here we go. So let me pull out the little keyboard, get myself set up. All right. So let me do Move On first. All right, let me do that one first, because Move On is kind of fun. Move On kind of reminds me, the way I wrote it kind of reminds me of Easy, because it's that same kind of repetitive kind of melody, right? It's just the same thing over and over again, but with a good feel. So let me do Move On, and check it out. Not singing, but when these songs are done, I will be singing on them. But right now, it's just going to be the melody. So here we go. So all you folks out there bugging me to sing, you'll be hearing me sing on these 2 songs, or at least one of these 2 songs next year. All right, and also Lady of the Sun, that's vocals as well. I'm moving not away from instrumentals, but just adding vocals to it, because I'm healing. And here we go. All right, Move On. Here we go. Let me shut up. All right, that's Move On. That's the melody for that song. Now, let's move into Share a Little Love. Now, Share a Little Love is a little different. I wrote this song back in 1981, and it was the first, for those of you who checked out my Chase episodes, you hear the version of Share a Little Love from when my band Chase did it back in 81. It was the pivotal song in my career. It was a pivotal song with the band. It's the song that took the band from what I called a garage basement band sound to a more professional recording studio, professional band sound. And this was the song that did it. And this is still one of my favorite songs. Actually, Move On is too. These are 2. Oh God, I'm a balladeer. I love writing ballads, and I think ballads has always been one of my specialties that I've always written, were ballads. But I credit all of that to Lionel Richie, obviously, because he influenced me so much back in those days. I just went that road of how to write a good ballad, and I was also a really syrupy kind of, I want to fall in love and be in love with somebody type of guy. So this is Share a Little Love Melody. Here we go. All right. So those are the two songs, Share a Little Love and Move On. So let me put the keyboard back underneath here. Let me know between both songs, what is your better flavor? Which of the two songs would you like to hear me record based on those two melodies? Okay, and then I'm going to be working on both at the same time throughout this year. I'll be working on all three: Lady of the Sun, Share a Little Love, and Move On. But depending on how the year turns out, as I'm putting out these other three songs, releasing all these other three songs for you guys to hear, I may not get to finish all three. So, like I said, email me, Facebook comments, especially the show notes page. I mean, right there, the show notes page. Let me start off again. Email me, david@davidknightcompose.com. The show notes page, davidknightcompose.com/bedrock. YouTube, for those who are watching on YouTube, while you're watching this right here and now, pick up your phone and just hit, comment and leave a comment or leave a vote. Move on or share a little love and let me know. For those who have my cell and who text me, send me a text message and just put in there, move on or share a little love. Just let me know. Take a quick vote, take a quick pulse of what of the two songs you guys feel, all right? And then we'll move on. So we'll move on, literally move on. All right, so let's move forward here into this episode, which I call BedRock. And there's a real reason why I call it BedRock. But before you have a bedrock, you have to have a beginning. And so I want to play a song that to me is going to kind of get us in the mood of what I should say, what we're going to talk about in this episode. And this is going back to Take It Higher and some of the things that we can do. I'll share with you some things that I do to take my life higher. But there has to always be a beginning. So let's check out Chicago and Beginnings, one of the baddest songs ever written and recorded back in the day. Here we go, Chicago, Beginnings. Okay, so that was Chicago and Beginnings. That song to me is still one of the baddest songs ever written. I think my two, I like the whole song, but I think my two favorite parts of the song is the beginning, that guitar, that acoustic guitar with those chords strumming like that, man, and those drums coming in. That song is still, and the horns, oh my gosh, Chicago and their horns is just still out of control. And at the end of that song also, when they're just grooving on that percussion part, right, that percussion loop just going around, they just grooving with it. Such a really great song, well put together orchestration, not orchestration, but the trumpets, the horn, everything. I just love the song. It's one of my favorite songs. The other thing I like are those sirens outside. And I know right now Mike is saying, you held it together, Dave, but this time I didn't. I put it on video and I put it on tape. I didn't hold it together. Daggone ambulance driving me nuts. That's all right. It takes my concentration. Anyway, let me jump back in here right quick. All right. So, Beginnings. I played the song Beginnings for a reason. And the reason why I thought that would be a good song to open up this segment of the show would be great, because we have to have a beginning. Like, we have to have a beginning somewhere. And if we think about take it higher and taking our lives higher, how do we begin to do that? Right? What's the beginning of that? How do we begin to take our life higher? It's one thing for me to just say, take it higher, higher, don't give up, keep it up. Like I said, till the cows come home. But there was a point where I remember being somewhat stuck because I didn't know how to take my life higher. I was just in automatic mode, just doing things, like just doing stuff, you know? And yeah, it got me to certain points, but I burned out. The lovely childhood traumas and PTSD kind of caught up with me, right? So how do we do that? How do we take a life higher? What I've come to learn and what I've come to understand over the years now, for me, there were just three, and it's funny because this is something that doctors and the gurus and stuff, they don't really talk about a heck of a whole lot. There are some that do. And I want to share some of those names with, at least one of the names with you in this episode. But there are three real bedrock ways. That's why I use the word bedrock. There are real three bedrock ways that we can begin to take our lives higher, and the body, something that the body needs, for the body to respond, for the body to understand, right? So what are those three things? One, it needs sleep. Sleep is not about rest. Resting to me is another whole ball game. Resting to me is going to the beach, going in your backyard, sitting down, cooling out, meditation, deep relaxation, going to the spa, having fun, talking, conversation with family. That's rest. That's rest and relaxation. Sleep, which is one of the key bedrocks of health, is a different ball game. Sleep, while yes, you're getting rest for the most part, you can say to an extent, but the time that those 8 hours that you should be spending getting sleep, that is for the body to repair itself. That's for the body to clean itself out. That's for wounds to repair. That's for pain to repair. That's for nutrients to get into the system and all those types of things. You shut down your consciousness, your mental capability, your energy levels drop down. All those different things happen while you're sleeping. And again, I'm not a doctor, not trying to be a doctor, just sharing my information with you as to how I understand it and as to how I move my life, I guess, forward or take my life higher, right? Sleep. 8 hours of sleep is imperative. Those folks who say, you need 4 hours of sleep a night, you got to get up and get it and get at it and stuff like that. No, that is so wrong. We have the body wrong. You need the 8 hours maximum, preferably, I would say minimum 7.5, but preferably 8 hours of sleep, which is not an easy thing to do. I mean, like getting up in the middle of the night, all that kind of stuff, and it's going to the bathroom, whatever everybody does, everybody has their own thing. But those 8 hours of sleep are important. Why? Because there are different cycles throughout the night that your body uses, different times throughout the night that your body uses. And it starts at around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, where your body kind of really begins to kind of shut down and begins to go into self-cleaning mode, right? So to give an example, I forgot what time it is, but I think it's somewhere around 1 or 2 in the morning, or maybe 2 or 3. I forgot what time it was. I used to know this stuff by heart, but I forgot. There's a time throughout the night while you're sleeping that your brain begins to clean itself. And all of the dead cells and all of the gunk and all the stuff that we're thinking, all that kind of stuff, begins to clean itself and wipe itself out and wash itself through, and it deposits into the lymph node system, and then the lymph node takes it out, purifies it, gets it out, gets it going, and gets it out of the system when we begin to go to the bathroom and do all those things. If you're not in bed sleeping at the time that your brain is programmed to clean itself out, you missed that. Your brain didn't clean itself out. Now imagine if you're going to bed at that time every night, okay, at that same hour every night, or you're not in bed, I should say, you're not in bed that same hour every night, and you're not getting that sleep at that particular time, and your brain night after night after night is trying to go into self-cleanse mode, and it can't because you're still awake. you're still doing video games, you're watching movies, you're talking, you're out in the town, you're dancing, you're doing whatever you're doing, but you're not getting rest and your body is not repairing itself. You do that time and time again, night after night, and your brain is not repairing itself, it's not cleaning itself out. And the same thing goes for other systems, the blood, the kidneys, the liver, the heart. Your body is scanning from head to toe, cleaning and repairing itself every night when you should be sleeping. And if you are not sleeping, if you're not getting the 8 hours of sleep, there are certain parts of your body that's not repairing and not cleaning itself. So think about that day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, decade after decade, as so many of us do. Me as a musician, my younger years, I was always out performing in clubs, doing gigs, in the studio, rehearsing, whatever. Sometimes 12, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I sometimes didn't get home, many times didn't get home from gigs. Me and Tracy sometimes wouldn't come home from gigs until 5, 6, 7 a.m. And that went on for years throughout my 20s and also part of my early 30s. I wasn't doing the gigs, but in my early 30s, it was in the studio. So while Tracy was downstairs with the kids or in bed with the kids by this time now, because they were all born, I was downstairs in my studio working with clients, recording, trying to make that money, because if we don't make that money, stuff ain't gonna happen. Well, there's truth to that, but if you don't repair your body and you get sick, still you're not going to make that money and nothing's going to happen, and that's just the reality. So as we are now in our more mature years, number one, and as we are in our keep on living years, because the generations before us, when they reach the ages that we are now, our 60s, 70s and up, they're ready to kick it out and go ahead and transition out and go ahead and die, and they're going to call it a day. We're not thinking that way. Baby boomers and all of us, and we don't think that way moving forward. We want to keep on living. And you have to, and to keep on living, you have to take care of the body. The body takes up so much of our time and so much of our energy. Everything is done for the body. Food shopping. Why? Feed the body. Going to bed at night. Why? Repair the body. I live in a house. I live in an apartment. I live in a shelter. Why? To protect the body. I bought a car. Why? To move my body from point A to point B. I mean, everything that we do in this physical world is centered around the body. But it's the one thing that we don't take care of and give it priority. We easily hand our health over to a doctor. Big, huge mistake. Huge mistake. Okay? So, number one, sleep. Number two, nutrition. I know I went from eating corned beef hash, eggs, grits, oh my God, steaks, all kind of seafoods, crabs, lobsters, shrimp, all kind of, the only thing I didn't do growing up and in the younger years, the only thing I didn't do was smoke cigarettes or weed, any kind of drugs, and alcohol. I didn't do those things. Everything else, forget it. Ice cream, cookies, cakes, candies. But I also ate well. I also ate mostly home cooked foods. I didn't eat out a lot, but the stuff that I made at home was not the best stuff. Fried chicken, think about our cultural diets. So nutrition is the next thing. You're not just eating to live and survive. You're eating to fortify and to also, once again, help heal your body. And if you're not eating food that has life in it, if you're not eating food that has nutrition, minerals, vitamins, nutrients, all those type of things in it, then you're not doing your body a favor. And you're not helping your body grow, and you're not taking your life higher. You're not doing that. So I can't tell anybody how to eat. I moved away in 2006, many of you know, I moved away from eating a whole bunch of processed foods. I removed processed foods, all processed foods, all white foods, all dairy, all sugars, and all meats out of my lifestyle. I stopped eating all 5 of those for years, right? And I think the only thing that kind of sort of reintroduced a little bit has been meat. So I'll do a little bit of chicken here, like Maggie, me and Marcus will order in. We may order some Chipotle, and I'll order one of the bowls, and I have to put some of their chicken on top of it. But everything else is plant-based, right? The only quote unquote meat that I cook and make here, every other month I'll buy salmon. I buy a pound of salmon, and I do that, make sure I'm getting some of the essential oils, not essential oils, but the omega-3 fatty acids, oils, that kind of stuff in there. Again, I'm not a doctor, so I don't remember all of this stuff. So I'll do fish for those reasons, and I'll do a little bit of meat for the B12 and stuff like that, because when you do 100% plant-based, you're missing out on your B12 and all those type of things as well, right? So other than those things, I'm plant-based. I eat nothing but plants, nuts, seeds, legumes, peas, beans, fruits, vegetables. Fruits are extremely, extremely important. I would say fruits are even more important than vegetables in the big picture, but vegetables are almost equally as important. So nutrition. After sleep comes nutrition, all right? Really, really important. Sleep, nutrition, and then the third thing is move your body. Move your body. We cannot keep sitting down. I mean, when I think about it, I sit when I'm driving. I sit in this studio. I sit when I'm watching television. I sit when I'm working. You know, everything is go. I'm sitting here, I'm going here, and I'm sitting there, and I'm sitting there. And I mean, when I think about the earlier years, I didn't sit a hell of a whole lot. When I was going through my divorce, I was driving a school bus. I was sitting 8 hours a day driving a school bus of young kids around, preschoolers and toddlers. And then I had one year I drove a bus full of high school girls. That was fun. The conversations we had, oh my goodness, gosh, that needs to be a podcast. That was so much fun. I was like their uncle back in those days. And I had Rhea, my daughter, come on the bus, and she sat with them one day and they talked. It was really fun. So you have to move your body. Again, I didn't grow up moving my body. My father was not into martial arts. My father was not into exercising. He was not into anything that helped his body in any shape, form, or fashion. And he got the results of that, and he is now dead 33 years. Okay? So we have to move our bodies. All right? And I'm sorry if I'm not being my high energetic person in this episode, but this stuff is really serious to me. And so I really just want to really be focused on the seriousness of this stuff, because we're talking our life. And while I don't believe this is our only life, this is our only life by any stretch of the imagination. Everybody said, this is the only life you got, you better live it, you don't get nothing more. That's not true. We never die. And we never lose consciousness unless we're on some drug that makes us lose consciousness. But once you're out of this body, you're still very much conscious. You can still very much see, hear, the whole 9 yards is still all right there. Okay? So, move the body. You've got to move the body. If that's a 20-minute walk, whether it's slow pace or fast pace. I used to jog 3 miles, but now I just do a fast paced power walk 4 times a week for 30 minutes a pop, literally. Okay, I don't jog anymore because that's not good for the body. Again, we had all these concepts in mind of what's good for the body, what works for the body, and this. No, the body doesn't want to be pounded. I had a really good friend who was into cycling, and he was cycling, and you think that all this stuff that the body wants, it's extreme. The body doesn't want anything that's extreme. It wants and needs balance. And so my friend I grew up with, he was a cyclist. He got into cycling. We were, well, I guess I was 15, so he was 17. And he used to build bikes and show me how to ride bikes and everything. And he's going. And he built his body up. And he's doing this so much to the point that he taxed his heart so much that he died in his sleep at age 60. I was in shock because all this time we're sitting here thinking, exercise, work out, lift those weights, run 10, 15 miles a day. Every person that I know that jogged 10 to 20 miles a day for years or decades, they all have hip replacements, double hip replacements. Everyone. So the body does not want pounding. We're supposed to be, we're supposed to be roving the planet, climbing things, climbing up a mountain, walking over here, walking over these pastures, doing this, maybe lift some things, build a house and do some swimming. That's what the body's made to do. It's not made to do all this extreme crap that we're putting it through. Not only the physical extreme stuff, but also the mental, emotional extreme stuff that we're giving it. It's not made to do that. It didn't evolve to do that. The body is still 100% connected to nature. Trees, plants, oceans, water, solar system. It's connected to that. And our particular species, we removed it from all of that. And then we wonder why we're getting sick. And we wonder why we're dying. We're killing ourselves. We're killing our bodies. So I'm just trying to give you 3 bedrocks. And I'm going to give you 3 more of my personal bedrocks. But these are the 3 bedrocks that the body needs. 1, it needs sleep. 8 hours of sleep. That's a bedrock. That, to me, that's non-negotiable. Unnegotiable. You can't negotiate that. You have to find a way to get 8 hours of sleep. Best way you can. That's 1. 2, nutrition. Remove crap out of your mouth. Remove stuff out of your body. I'm not suggesting that you go as extreme as I did, because I'm still in that. I'm still doing that. I do some processed foods here and there, and I do some sweet. I had some cake yesterday with my mother-in-law's birthday, so I had a slice of cake, but that was it. It was good too. It reminded me of the good old days, right? So nutrition. Focus on plant-based. Try to make plant-based the majority of what you eat, and enjoy other stuff as well. Nothing's off the table, but understand, the more processed foods, sweet foods, fat foods, meats, all those type of things, the more those things that you're eating, the more your body's getting sluggish, the more your blood is slowing down, the more the kidney and the liver are backing up, the more the lymphatic system cannot handle and get the sludge out. And once all that begins to happen, that's when you begin to look at diabetes. That's when you begin to look at heart disease. All those type of things begin to perk up, and everything else begin to perk up from that point on. And fat and everything. I mean, we know that stuff. This is to be positive. Okay, so those 3 pillars: sleep, nutrition, move the body. Get out there and move that ass. However you want to do it, move your body. Okay, so those are the 3 bedrocks that the body needs. All right. I want to play a song right quick, and then I'm going to give you 3 of my personal bedrocks that I've done for myself, that I kind of do every day, every week, every month for myself. All right, but let's go to a song. I'm going to play Brass Construction Changes, because it's just a bad song. And again, it's a message in the song. Times are changing times. Change, take it higher. All that type of stuff. Okay, so let's move to that. Let's move into Changes. Check it out. And we're going to come back in. I'm going to give you my 3 bedrocks for my personal life. And you're more than welcome to use these 3 when I tell you what they are, or come up with 3 of your own for whatever works for you. But for right now, let's go ahead and move into Changes. Here we go. Brass Construction. Rock it, y'all. All right. That's Brass Construction. Changing. Times are changing. That song was 1974, 75, I think it was. Still a badass song. I mean, they just killed the horns, of course, Brass Construction, like Chicago, just killing it all the time. Synthesizer solos, the strings, all those screeching strings man, that song comes on and I still have to rock and jam to it so much. It was one of the songs that influenced Take It Higher, because one of those songs that's instrumental, dance groove, And you had those chants, times are changing, changing times. That chant right up in there. And I want to do more songs like that too, like Take It Higher, just instrumental with a chant going on. And then after the chant, you just get back into the groove and get back to the instrumental. I love stuff like that back in those days. And honestly, I still love it now. So I want to do more of those things. But let me move into my 3 personal bedrocks. All right, my 3 personal bedrocks. These are 3 things that I define, that help me define my life and how I want to program myself in my brain to take my life higher, to change my life and move myself further along. Okay, these are my 3 personal ones. First one, trust my body. Get the hell out of the way of my body. I've been dealing with PTSD hard and heavy since 2018, actually since all my life, but it really kicked in and took me down in 2018, okay? And I had to learn to trust my body. I mean, and the PTSD forced me to learn to trust my body. Our bodies are millions of years old. From the continent of Africa, it went through, that was its testing ground. It went through anything and everything in Africa back millions and millions of years ago, okay? And it evolved over time. And so it knows every plant on the planet, every mineral, every salt, every vitamin, every nutrient, every rock compound, the water, the salt, it knows it all. You go in the salt water and you have a cut and you're at the beach all day in salt water, it heals it. So your body is intelligent. It is as awake as you are. It is as conscious as you are. Matter of fact, the same chemicals and things that are in your brain that make you conscious are all in your cells, in every organ, every part of your body. It hears you think. It knows you can't, that's why I say you can't fool yourself, because your body knows what you're thinking. It knows how it feels. It knows how you feel. It's all, there's no mind-body connection. It's all one unit, okay? And you have to learn to trust it. All we have been doing, this so-called modern world, this so-called Western world, all we've been doing is getting in the way. Thinking we know so damn much, getting in the way. You've got to get out of the way of your body, and you have to trust it. And here's the difficult part. And this was very difficult for me. The difficult part is that your body only knows one thing, 2 things: to live and to survive on this planet. What your body will do, if your body thinks that you are in trouble and that you are at risk of not surviving physically, it will do everything in its power to help you survive. It will do everything in its power so that you will survive. But here's the problem. Here's one thing that I think evolution may not have accounted for. It will do it to an extreme, right? So we have to really figure out, and so you have to still trust your body to know how to heal itself, but you still have to monitor your body, do the right things, get blood tests, exams, x-rays, whatever you need to do to make sure that you understand what's going on with your body, okay? And then do the things necessary to help your body heal, and then get out the way. Get your 8 hours of sleep so it can repair, proper nutrients, move it when you can, however you can, for whatever is going on in your situation, right? But trust your body. Trust your body. It's taken me time to do that, but now I trust my body. So when I see something crazy going on with my body, I just say, okay. I make sure it's nothing serious, nothing I really need to deal with 100%. And then I trust it to heal. I do what I need to do to make sure it heals. Like if I have a pain in the shoulder, when I go to bed at night and I have a certain pain or something going on, before I go to bed at night, I say to myself, okay, I'm in reparative and restoration mode for the next 8 hours. So when I wake up, I expect to see and feel a difference in my body. And most every time I wake up, it's either gone, I feel a difference, I feel how it subsided itself, whatever. So number one, trust your body. All right. Number two, my next bedrock for myself is believe in me. If I don't believe in me, nobody else is going to believe in me. And even if others do believe in me, if I don't believe in myself, all the belief that everybody else has in me means nothing because I don't believe in me. So I believe in myself, and I practice that on a daily basis now to believe in myself on every level that I possibly can. And then I trust my body. I trust my body, believe in me. Believe in me, trust my body. Trust my body, believe in me. That has become a cycle for me at this point. That has become a cycle for me in my life. Nope, something's going wrong. Believe I can do it. Believe in me. Up, something's going wrong with my body. Up, trust my body. Trust that it can heal. Believe that I know what to do to give my body what it needs so that it can heal. And then, bam, trust my body to heal. Up, this is going on. Believe in me that I know how to get the information. I know what to get. I know what to do. I know how to do this. Put this together. Get the knowledge, get the information, and then do it. That my body gets it, and then bam, trust my body to heal. Get out of its way. Get in its way to help it. Get out of its way, and let it do what it knows how to do. So trust my body. Believe in me. Believe in me. Trust my body. And the believe in me part goes more further in than just my body. That goes believe in me in my music. Believe in me as a husband. Believe in me as a father. Believe in me that I can do what needs to be done to make myself happy and thereby making the people around me a little bit more happy in their lives as well by whatever means I can possibly do. It's not my job to make other people happy. Okay, so trust my body and believe in me. My third bedrock, personal bedrock, is have faith in life. Be optimistic about life. Trust in life. Life has been around for long before the earth. Life has been around long before the solar system. Just because you don't remember it doesn't mean it didn't happen. Trust in life. Have faith in life. Be optimistic about life. Now that has been a problem for me because dealing with PTSD, that's panic, that's living in survival mode. So that has been a really difficult one for me. I tend to, over the last, especially the last 5 years, but over the last 20 years particularly, but the last 5 specifically, it's been difficult for me to have faith in life because I've been in survival mode. I've been in fight, flight, and fear mode, right? That's where I've been. So for me, it's been really, really difficult to have faith in life because I've been in that mode. But that goes back 20-some, well, all my life, in terms of the PTSD stuff and the trauma that I've suffered. But the more I pull out of it, the more I get back into having faith in life. Life is good. Even though much of what we see around us seems horrible, there's equal amounts of good. And I would venture to say there's actually more good than bad and horrible in the world. I think because the brain focuses on survival, the amygdala in the brain focuses on, what's bad in the world to protect us, we tend to focus on those things. But if we were to train our brain to focus on the other things, we'd see a whole different ballgame. And that's what I'm working towards right now, focusing my brain on all the good things I see in the world, all the good things I know is going on in the world, and not all the crazy stuff. That's going to always be there. So, recap it right quick. Trust your body, believe in you, and have faith and be optimistic when it comes to life. And I think those 3 things, along with sleep, nutrition, and moving your body, those 6 things all together are the 6 things that I feel if you learn and practice those things over the course of days, weeks, months, and years, you're taking your life higher. And that's really all the song was about. Take your life higher. And how do you do that? Which ways do you do that? Right? So, like I said, this is more of a serious episode, but I've been very low key in this episode, but I did it for a reason, because I really wanted you to hear and focus on what these bedrocks are, because I feel that what I call our keep on living community are the mature people in our community that we're building here with the music and lifestyle and stuff. I felt that these things were just things that we needed to hear, that I needed to share with all of you. Okay, so I hope you got some good takeaways from it. If you have any questions about it, and how I go about doing some of those things, I am more than willing to share with you. So by all means, email me, david@davidknightcompose.com. You can always put your question out to me randomly on Facebook or social media, be it YouTube. I get emails, notifications from all social media. So wherever you put it, I will see it and I will reply. Like I said, for those folks who have my cell number and who text me, feel free to text me, ask me a question. How do I get sleep? How do I do nutrition? How do I do this? How do I do that? Whatever. There's one more component to this also, which I'm really studying and getting into a heck of a whole lot, is herbalism. And I'll get into that a little bit later, but I'm going to put herbalism in this little package as well, this bedrock package. I'm going to put herbalism in there as well, because herbalism, the more I learn about it, the more I study it, the more I practice it, the more I love it, but the more it is helping my body to heal every night. And at night, every morning and every evening, I do some type of medicinal herb tincture, and along with the tea, whether it's bedrock root, whether it's burdock root, mullein, whatever the plant may be. And we'll get into all that stuff a little bit later in another episode, but that's a really important part of it. The body loves its plants, because we are not made to eat meat. We're just not. And I know so many people don't believe that, but before I sign off from this episode, let me give you the reasons why I believe that. One, our teeth are not canine teeth. We do not have the teeth of lions, tigers, and bears. We don't have teeth to rip and shred and tear meat apart off the bones of a living animal. Thank God, because I can't imagine doing that. Okay, and we've seen I'm sure many of us have seen all those videos on Facebook now and TikTok, where lions and hyenas and all these animals are attacking each other, killing each other, and tearing the flesh off the bone as these animals are still dying. We don't do that. We do not do that. We don't have the teeth to do that. Okay, that's number one. Number two, our stomach. We do not have the capacity, stomach size wise, but also the acid in our stomach is not strong enough, is not hot enough to break down meat. And for those who remember when John Wayne died, they found 5 pounds of undigested beef in, not James Brown, John Wayne. When John Wayne died, they found 5 pounds, I believe, of undigested beef in his gut and in his stomach. He died of cancer. Why? Because that 5 pounds of meat that never got through his system, that never got out of his body, putrefied and made him highly toxic, and thereby cancer. And he had other issues that helped with his cancers and stuff like that. And he died, I think it was 77, I think it was as well. Okay, so our stomach's not big enough to hold all that meat, number one. Number two, our stomach acid is not hot enough to break all that meat down. So it's putting big chunks of meat through the intestinal tracts. Second, the third thing, our intestinal tract, 32 feet long, give or take an inch or two. Okay, that is a long transit time for our waste to leave the stomach, to go through the intestinal tract, and to exit out our butt. into the bowl. You're talking at least, for the average person, 12 to 24 hours for it to go through that whole route out the stomach and then out into the toilet. When food is in the intestinal tract, it's absorbing nutrients, minerals, vitamins out of that food, okay, and putting it into the bloodstream. If that food is in your intestinal tract hour after hour after hour after hour and has not passed through pretty quickly, pretty rapidly, then the food begins to break down like in a garbage can, begins to putrefy, and then the intestinal tract begins to suck that out of the food and put that into your bloodstream. Think about that. So all those folks who are pro meat, fine. I love meat. I used to eat hamburgers that damn near bled. That's how much I love meat. Still love meat to this day. But I do it in very light moderation. Okay? So we are not carnivores. We are not meant to eat meat. And if we're going to eat meat, fine. Obviously time came in life where we felt we had to eat meat, and so we began doing that. But originally we were not eating meat. Okay? So if we had to do it for a period of time, fine. The body knows how to adapt. Obviously, we're still here. The body knows how to adjust, obviously, and it has done just that. But that, again, it knows how to survive. So it will adapt and adjust to eating meat so that it will survive. But once you're out of survival mode, you lay off it. You go back to how things are supposed to be. Again, getting out of the body's way. So to me, eating a ton of meat, you're getting in the body's way. You're getting in your body's way of healing and taking care of itself. You're in the way. You're blocking it. That's what I mean, get out of its way. And I had to learn. It took me a good few years to understand. When people said to me, get out of your body's way, I didn't understand that. But because there's so many levels of getting out of the body's way. I should say there's so many levels of getting in the way of the body. Not eating properly, not getting proper sleep, and not moving your body. You're getting in the way of your body, knowing what it needs to do to take care of itself and to heal itself. All right, so let me get out of here. I'm going to play Take It Higher one more again. All right, to remind you, take your life higher. I'll do the video with this as well. We'll close out with the video with the song. All right, so take your life higher. Use these total of 6 bedrocks as you will. I hope whatever I've said struck a chord will inspire you to move your life higher and to also get out of the way of your body. Let your body trust your body. It knows how to heal. You have to learn to get out of its way so that it can heal. Get into a position where you're monitoring the body, understanding what it's doing, what it's trying to do. If it needs something to assist it, to help do that thing, give it that, and then get out the way. And go to bed and rest and repair and eat properly and move your body if you can, when you can, however you can. All right, let me get out of here. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Again, hit me up, email, social media, text, however you want to do it. Here on those who watch on YouTube, as they say, subscribe, like, click that bell, hit that button, do that thing, whatever, leave me a comment, got questions, and I'm going to get out of here. I will see you next month in April with another episode. Until then, as my grandmother would say, keep on living. Night out.